10 NBA players who went broke. NBA players make hundreds of millions of dollars. That's enough money to last anyone a lifetime. Some players make good choices and live very comfortable lives after retirement. Others don't. It's interesting to see how some stars we've grown to love move from extremely rich to flat broke. When you're young and rich, your life is filled with endless extravagance and luxury. High-end cars, yachts, and mansions. But what happens when you retire and can't keep up with the lifestyle you once had? Let's take a look at your favorite players who went broke fast. Eddie Curry. Curry, one of the great NBA players by the end of his career, had earned $70 million. Curry was your typical family man, the brother who climbed up the ladder and made sure all those around him benefited from it. His generosity went a bit overboard as he began taking care of friends and family and buying them cars. Curry took many quick-fix decisions, such as taking a loan that had an interest rate of 85%. He now regrets not investing in his education because he didn't go to college. In an interview with Ball Don't Lie, he encouraged kids to learn from his mistakes and go to school. Antoine Walker. Throughout his career, he amassed a whopping $108 million. 2 years after retiring, Antoine filed for bankruptcy. Surprising, right? Antoine helped many of his friends and family members live comfortable lives without requesting reimbursement. In an interview, he said he was an open ATM. In addition to his generosity, he also had gambling issues. To make matters worse, his real estate investment was badly affected by the 2008 recession, and he incurred more debt. Walker was arrested in 2009 for writing fraudulent checks in Vegas. He now advises young NBA players not to follow in his footsteps. Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson was one of the league's most valued players, earning $150 million by the end of his career. Iverson moved from extravagance to pulling out his pockets in the courtroom, exclaiming he had no money and could not even afford a burger. Iverson had a severe gambling addiction, a large entourage, alcohol problems, and many women. Iverson is trying to get back on his feet. He's in a basketball league hosted by Ice Cube. He also has a trust fund of $30 million, which he can't touch till he's 55. That's smart. Shawn Kemp. Kemp's total earnings by the end of his career was $91 million. The Seattle legend's descent was heartbreaking. This started even before his career was over and continued after he left the NBA. He had put on so much weight and dived deep into drugs that in 2000, he was forced to check into rehab. Kemp was arrested for drug possession in 2005. Aside from these legal bills and drug-related issues, another vice that badly affected Kemp was his lust for women. Kemp currently has 7 kids with 6 different women, meaning he had to clear all alimony bills for each woman. He seems to have cleaned himself up and is taking care of his kids now. We wish him the best. Darius Miles. Miles was a young NBA player with promise. He had earned $62 million by the end of his career. Miles did try to invest his earnings, but that did not work out. The investments did not yield as expected, and he lost millions of dollars. The rest went into tax arrears and, you guessed it, child support. He finally filed for bankruptcy in 2016. Latrell Sprewell. Sprewell earned $97 million by the end of his career. Remember when he laughed at and rejected a contract of $21 million for 3 years? Well, Sprewell went broke shortly after that. Sprewell auctioned his yacht and 2 of his million-dollar houses were foreclosed. Sprewell could not keep up with the lavish and extravagant lifestyle. He now does menial work to make ends meet. What a fall from grace. Vin Baker. Baker had earned $97.3 million by the end of his career in 2006. Baker sued Bourdois & Company Certified Public Accountants, the financial institution that handled his money for mismanagement and negligence. He sued them because his investments did not yield as much as he had been assured they would. Baker also had outstanding taxes of over $1 million. Unfortunately, the firm alone cannot be blamed for all his woes. Baker had issues with alcohol and was arrested for drunk driving in 2007. Baker is doing his best to get back on his feet. He's a Starbucks store manager in Connecticut, Old Saybrook, and an analyst on Fox Sports. Robert Swift. Robert Swift was a player with promise. His career was cut short to 5 years by substance abuse and injuries. In the short time he spent playing, he managed to earn $11 million. Swift spent most of his money on hard drugs and liquor. Swift had also gained a lot of weight, and his life was out of control. The state of his home when it was being foreclosed was nothing to write home about. The walls were filled with bullet holes, animal feces, with garbage all over the house. Swift was arrested in 2015 for a home invasion. Kenny Anderson. Anderson's total salary from the NBA is $63.4 million. His career lasted 14 years. Unlike the other cases we've seen so far, Anderson was money conscious. He had a monthly budget for fun activities. He was definitely smarter with his money than others. That should have helped, but unfortunately, it didn't. He also rewarded himself with a mansion in Beverly Hills and 8 cars. Anderson lost a huge chunk of money in the 3 divorce cases. His ex-wife Tina decided to spite him by buying a car from the alimony with a custom license plate that read, "His cash." Ouch. Dennis Rodman. Dennis earned $26.9 million. His days of luxury ended quickly, and he had to come out clean to admit that he could not afford to clear his alimony bills. Dennis is still in arrears with regard to the payment of child support. Dennis Rodman's outlandish lifestyle of clubbing and sex with over 2,000 women surely cost him a lot. He also fell for an unfortunate financial scam by Peggy Ann Fulford, who was sentenced to 10 years in prison. He also apparently gave a lot of money away to homeless people. And that is it. 10 NBA players who went broke. Let us know in the comment section what you think about these stories and what you would have done differently if you came by that amount of wealth. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on our awesome videos.